Hey everyone out there. This is Spoiler Alert. We are going to be talking about Loki episode 4. If you haven't seen Loki episode 4, I feel very sorry for you.
We all do.
It's a pretty damn good episode. But we're going to spoil the hell out of it for you. So if you haven't seen it or you care, you should probably get off of here and watch us at a different time. If you have seen the episode, then please chime in. Tell us what you think about what we're saying. If you have your own ideas about stuff, we're just giving you our opinion. It doesn't mean that it's all right. So give us your opinion too. We want to hear it. Oh, well, gosh, we've already got a comment.
Right off the bat. Here we go.
As I say.
Right off the bat.
Brian James says, whatever it is, I agree with Walt today. Let's see. So I'm going to tell you that we are broadcasting today live from my Facebook account and from YouTube as per usual, and once again from Twitter. I just discovered over the past few days I stopped broadcasting on Twitter because my Twitter connection, this is StreamYard that I use for those of you playing the home game, and about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, for whatever reason, Twitter, which owns Periscope, decided to shutter Periscope, and the connection of StreamYard to Twitter was through Periscope, okay? Are you guys following? Do I need a big whiteboard like Rick Sanchez? So I found someone who was using StreamYard, and they were streaming live from StreamYard to to Twitter, and it's like, well, if they can do it, I can too. So I tried it. I did a test, and sure enough, it's working. So we are on Twitter again, my Dark Hooper Plus account. So there's that, folks. And again, I invite you guys to all join in on the fun, please. Give us your comments or your thoughts about the episode, because we're going to get into it right now. If you don't want to be spoiled, let me take a break.
Me too.
Sure.
Okay, let's spoil some shit. Our first thing that we're going to talk about is that we open up with, finally we find out when Sylvie was picked up. And she was very young. She was, 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that. And she's playing with some figures, including one of them, a very large wolf, which I think is pretty funny. She's got a ship and a large wolf and
Friend rear.
Yeah. Right. But she doesn't look like she's doing up to nefarious deeds. She's playing with toys, right? And she gets picked up, and we kind of find out, that basically we see Renslayer back when she was a guard. And we start to see that the TVA is doing people dirty, that they're basically way too much up in people's lives. They're taking people from, they're not the benevolent, caring entity that we were led to believe from the beginning. And they really hammer that in this episode. What do you think about what we discovered with Sylvie and how and Renslayer?
It's interesting because she's playing with the little action figures, and she's basically reenacting what went down with Hela.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm. Sort of. In a way, she's reenacting that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So I wonder if she was witness to that or not, or
that's an interesting thought.
So I thought about that for a minute, and then there's other people online that I discovered who have been thinking about that same thing as well. Another interesting thing about was it Renslayer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you catch her number?
No, what was it?
A23.
She was an
A23.
Which happens to be Avengers 23, the issue which she debuted.
Oh,
cute.
Nice playing. Nice. I didn't catch that.
That's a good catch.
That's a real good catch.
That's a good catch, Walt.
So, I didn't catch it, but something about that A at the with what's
Right.
what the other one is B, and we have D20 and B, was it B15 or whatever it is. So, and I didn't go into deeper research on that, but I started.
Hey, Ken. Thanks
What's up,
for
Ken?
joining in on us here.
Hey,
But I
Have
started.
you seen the latest episode of Loki? We're talking about that.
Come on, have you seen it, Ken? Before I go any further.
Before we spoil anything else, there's so much to spoil.
Yeah.
There's so much to spoil.
So, but anyway, so somebody pointed out that just happened to be the first issue that Renslayer made her appearance in the comics.
He's seen it. That's cool, man. Beth, what did you think about what we found, what we discovered with Sylvie?
I
has-
don't like. I don't
She
like.
has dark
Renslayer.
hair.
Yeah,
We found out Sylvie dyes her hair.
I don't like Renslayer one bit.
Oh no,
And
she has
just-
been very duplicitous.
She, being able to see Sylvie as a child,
Hello to Gabrielle.
and get
Hello, Gabriella.
get an idea of.
She said, "I love the episode."
Oh,
Very cool.
I think we all did. I really do think we all loved this episode. And I can see why Hiddles has said this is one of his favorites.
He said 4 and 5. I can see why.
Seeing her as a child, so that again, this is another glimpse of Loki that we don't see very often. We don't see him. We got a glimpse of him as a child in the first Thor movie. Now we're getting a a glimpse of Sylvie as a child. The fact that Renslayer just pulls her out of her world without,
Yep.
excuse me, giving her any indication of what's going on.
And still hasn't given the I mean, we get that comes full circle around the end
What did this child?
where she goes, "What was my big?
Yeah.
What was the big thing that I did that screwed up all of this and has ruined my life?"
What did this 6, 7, 8-year-old child do to make the TVA just come swooping in without a buyer leave, take a child? Because you see them just show up. I'm sure Odin and Mom, has no idea that suddenly their child has disappeared, and then to hear her say that, you demolished my entire existence. They basically blinked
Erased.
out that particular
Timeline.
Yeah.
timeline, that particular, parallel universe.
Yeah.
What the hell is the TVA up to?
Right.
Okay, I mean, come on.
Right.
To do
Yeah,
this
Ken.
to
It
a
seems
child,
to be their
yeah, that's their MO. It seems to
MO.
be their MO. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep. I felt
pretty-
bad for Sylvie. I really
yeah.
did. I felt bad for
Yeah.
her. I mean,
Yeah, suddenly you totally get everything that she's
Yeah.
done. I mean,
Yeah.
like there's no question about. And as it turns out, hey, maybe she is, the trickster, and maybe she has a little streak of evil. But the
you understand
TVA
why.
is unquestionably the greater evil.
Yeah.
here.
Right.
And
Exactly.
she turns around and she says, throughout all of this, she looks at Loki and she says, "I'm not supposed to exist."
Right.
So in response to Ken's comment, if she's not supposed to exist, I don't think her universe, her world, her parallel exists. I think when they reset everything.
Right.
And it's gone.
Right. They just, as I say, prune it. I mean, they just cut it off.
That's a dead tree. End of sentence. From that point, there's nothing. Put the tar on the end of the tree. You're done.
And I think we'll get to talking about pruning later. So
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Holy cats. So right in that beginning deal, we see Renslayer go in, and we finally get to see the Timekeepers. And they are suitably ominous. You can see them in the mist from across the room. And I have to admit, when I first saw them, I got some chills. It's like, ooh.
I did too.
We're actually getting to see, behind the door. They've built these guys up so well, that it's like, oh wow, we're getting a peek at them. And of course, we get quite a bit more than that later on.
Yeah.
Beth, what did you think about the moment where they showed the Timekeepers?
It was interesting to see how they did them. I think though, from that first point of seeing them, I'm sitting there going, "These ain't real."
This
These
looks
ain't-
so staged.
It did. It looked
Something-
staged. They sounded staged.
Just like the the Hall of Presidents,
Mhm.
in Disney World or whatever. Yeah, I mean,
The Wizard of
they're-
Oz.
like when you're doing work, you don't sit in a room on a throne. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I mean, they're
yeah.
not doing anything. They're just
They're not
waiting
doing
for
anything.
someone to
They're waiting.
come.
Yeah.
Right.
And that suggests that there's some
It goes back to what we've been
There's some
discussing. Where are the
smoke and mirrors
timekeepers?
going on.
Yeah, there's smoke and mirror. We got confirmation now that there's smoke and mirrors going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who's
we
the
might as
man
well
behind
say,
the curtain?
by the end, Sylvie has beheaded one of them, and the head plops in front of her, and it's got gears in it and stuff. I mean, it's total
Hey.
Wizard of Oz moment.
Ken has the right comment there.
Oh, we got comments coming in. I'm sorry. Here
Yeah,
we go.
Ken.
Let's see.
A Wizard of Oz thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabriella
Who's
says, I
behind
also
the
think they reset everything.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Ken says, and then they're robots. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Ken says maybe a Wizard of Oz thing.
Exactly.
And Gabriella says that it looked totally fake.
Hence,
Now,
hence, put up our names down at the bottom there of our windows.
Oh yeah, I got to kill that.
Hence the big three there. Androids, aliens, and wizards.
Right.
Aliens and wizards. Yes.
Yes, they're kind of all three of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Sam was right. Sam
was
was
right.
right.
Big
Sam was right. I'm telling you, always listen to the black guy.
He had it. He certainly did have it. Gabriella says yes. Yes, Sam was right. Yeah, I mean they got a little bit of all three of that in them,
Yeah.
as it turns out.
I mean, yeah, all
we'll talk
three-
a little bit.
Yeah, all three's in this. So.
We didn't get an answer to it, but we'll talk later on when we do some predictions on where we think, who's running the show.
Who's the man behind the
Right.
curtain?
Who is running this thing now? Because we know it's not those three, lizard people. I mean, who
One
knows?
of which definitely did not look like Kang. I'm just going to throw that out
Right,
there. Leave that there.
right. Ken says it's been weird seeing Owen Wilson with short hair and in a
Short,
suit.
Gray hair in a suit.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, just as an aside. I have really loved Owen Wilson, and we're going to talk a little bit about him, obviously, here in a minute. But
I want more of
he-
Owen Wilson.
I really seriously believe that. I mean, this is kind of another character where they could have put another, 300 actors in this role, but no one would have brought to this role what he did. This kind of easygoing. I sympathize with this character much more than if they'd had someone play him like a straight man or something. I mean, I really did you hear the thunder?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I was wondering what that was.
It's really coming down right now. It's really coming down outside. I really got caught up seriously in Mobius, and it was, I would say, largely because of Owen Wilson. I thought he was just really been wonderful in this role, playing the bureaucrat in one hand and an investigator in another hand, and then
Playing the pal.
playing the
pal, yeah,
and then
yeah.
the budding friendship. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a moment. So what we find out through the course of all of these actions is that Mobius begins to question what's going on. Let me change to this view here. We find out that through Loki talking and through other stuff that's happening, Mobius begins to question, what the hell is going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always, anytime he sees Renslayer, he has some questions for her. And they're getting more and more pointed as the episodes go on. And obviously, he ends up, in this episode, stealing her tin pad And looking at some old footage, because it doesn't make sense, because he saw C20 and she seemed like she was okay, and they said, well, she was in very bad shape and she couldn't talk and whatever, and so she killed herself.
Liar.
So
again, I will say it again. I do not like Renslayer. His chick.
Oh boy, she turned big time here.
She started getting on my nerves. She started getting on my nerves when she wouldn't answer questions. So
right,
yeah,
I mean, it was very clear earlier on that they were kind of setting her up as this character, and we've also talked about how she's kind of the main squeeze of Kang.
Yeah, I think they're those of us who are in the know who read comics.
And Kang is not a nice guy.
King is not a nice guy.
No, he's not. He's nasty.
And I think that's the main person pulling the strings.
Gabriella says she thinks it's amazing with Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Like also the promo clips of the cowboy style. Yeah, Owen Wilson is awesome. And then she says, the question is, are all people end up in this Loki universe kind of world, C20 or Mobius? We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't know.
We don't know.
But there's a couple of things that we could suggest on that.
Yeah.
We will get to that here in a moment. But again, we really don't know. We don't know what the heck is happening now because it has gone way off the rails. But anyway, the C20 is. I'm going to be online as long as I can be.
We can hear the rain too. By the way,
it's coming down. It's really coming down outside. I mean, like crazy.
Dirk is providing atmosphere.
Yes,
atmosphere for today's episode.
How about
Thank
that?
you, Oklahoma weather.
It is appropriate.
yeah.
It has been like spring around here. I mean, we're in the middle of summer now, and it's been raining for a week. It's been crazy, and I mean, it's not just like a steady downpour either. It's like we've had like almost a foot of rain.
Phew, that's a lot of rain.
That's unheard of in June,
Yeah.
and I mean, usually by this time it's 105 degrees with 1,000% humidity, and the heat is on. Instead, it's 80 degrees. It's right at 80, and we have thunderstorms. That's weird. So anyway, someone is messing with our time stream here, I think.
Well, they have wound up in Oklahoma before, so
your comments aren't late. It always the comments come through about maybe a minute or so after you put it on there, and I control them. So sometimes you might put something up there, and someone's making a point, so I'm going to let them finish their point and stuff. So, but we'll definitely put your thoughts up there, and we appreciate them.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yes,
Keep them coming.
please.
We love it.
Yeah.
So, does anyone else have anything to say? I mean, we learned that if you are off the range, that they are going to prune your ass.
Yeah, they're coming
You're
after
done.
you.
Yeah.
You're done.
Coming after you.
You're done.
Yeah.
And boy, do we see more of that here soon.
And apparently, you could be off the range and they're done with you. Whether it's from the fact that it is the fact that they don't want anyone finding out what you know or changing the status quo.
No,
Correct.
they do not. Let me show a picture here of what I was talking about. There it is.
Yep.
There's Owen Wilson with the tin pad where he finds out about C20. Just for the people who are playing at home.
And you can see in the tin pad as he's watching it, you can see C20 is not having any issue whatsoever
Right.
talking or making herself very clear as to what's going on.
She's very, very present.
Yes.
Yeah.
No question. Ken says that his pool is overflowing with the rain. Ken lives pretty close to me.
Dang.
It's been crazy. I mean,
Wow.
it's very unusual for us to get this amount of rain any time of year, but certainly in the middle of the summer.
Walt, we might need to get put together an arc and go rescue them.
Well, if you recall, just a few months ago, we were going through the same thing here. So,
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
so I was it the month of May. It rained like every day
Yeah.
of the month.
I don't know. Half of it I was in Virginia, so.
Yeah.
So we have a sequence here where a lot of really cool stuff happens. Mobius gets a hold of Loki, and it's finally the opportunity for them after Loki running away and all this stuff. He calls him an asshole and a bad friend. Oh, that really hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have called him a liar or whatever, but when he said you were a bad friend,
Your bad friend.
that really hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
Because it's been established very much that Loki doesn't have friends,
Right.
and that he's very much alone, which is kind of my next thing that I want to talk about. I think it's an amazing deal how they play this thing out, because on one hand they're both kind of dueling with each other still, and on the other hand, Loki has genuine feelings
and respect.
and respect
And respect for Mobius.
And Mobius feels the exact same way, but they're not allowing each other to do that,
Right.
because they're both kind of locked in their patterns.
This was the I'm annoyed that you went out with the other cool kids and didn't invite me along.
Yes.
Kind of
Oh,
attitude
yeah.
Yes.
between the two of them. Yeah.
Yes.
Very true.
Yes. Yes.
So
And-
now I'm going to be pissy with you for an entire week
Yes.
until we decide to make up again.
And then
That's exactly it.
Yeah, and then when Loki throws out the, you're all variants thing to Mobius, that kind of changes Mobius's thoughts.
It does.
about Loki's intentions.
He still
sure.
plays it off like, he
Yeah.
still plays it off like you went with the cool kids, screw
Right.
you. Go, you can go sulk somewhere else and leave me alone, kind of thing. But, what Loki said is enough to make Mobius start questioning things even more.
For
Right.
sure.
So,
And you're correct, Gabriella.
yeah.
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 She says C20 no, like she is like, it's real. Why did they take us?
Yeah.
What is it that we have to why is it that we have to search for answers?
Right.
Yeah. And anytime anyone does that, they are
Gone.
Oh,
Adios.
they're
bye-bye.
gone.
They're
Oh,
pretty.
bye-bye.
That is an
Yeah.
inconvenient
Bye-bye.
truth.
Exit stage right.
So I got to say, Time Jail was fun.
Oh,
For us, Time Jail was fun for us.
it was
Don't
great to
think
see.
It was fun for Sif. Yes.
It was great
fun.
to see Jamie Alexander.
It was. It was great
Yeah.
to see her.
I mean, we missed her missed her in Thor Ragnarok, and it was great to see her repeatedly.
Yeah. Yes, literally.
Pun intended.
Pun
Pun
intended.
intended.
It was fun for us. It
I
was
hear
definitely
that
fun
she's
for
going to
Sif.
be in Love and Thunder.
Good.
Oh yeah, I hope so. Good.
And in the comics, Sif was one of my favorite characters. So
I would suspect that the version of her that we saw in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did not exist. I think they're kind of covering over
I'm
that.
pretty sure everything from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point doesn't exist.
I think they're
Yeah.
kind of ignoring that. So,
Yeah.
this is legitimate, and we are going to be seeing her again. I guess she survived Ragnarok. I guess.
Well, she wasn't there, so
Yeah, she wasn't on Asgard, so
yeah.
which kind of makes you wonder if if any of the other warriors no, she was she was the only one out of the warriors. Never mind. I gotta go up. Just ignore me.
Right. I mean, they were all kind
They
of
were all
dispatched.
Yeah.
One by one, and but she was not. We never saw what happened to her,
We never saw her.
Right.
so she could have been like Thor, traveling off someplace else or whatever. Gabrielle says Mobius is Sylvie now your best friend?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think he was a little.
And in the end, she tried to save them for years.
Yeah.
I mean, she's actually been on their side
Right.
Yeah.
all this time.
Yeah.
She's the variant. It's like, oh, she's a terrible variant, and then as it turns out, everyone in there is a terrible variant.
taking out
You know.
taking out members of the TVA.
Yeah.
Slowly now we understand why she's doing it. And the bigger picture is starting to come together.
It is. It certainly is. Mobius says that Sylvie was killed, and which is a pretty good little ploy on his part.
Fire.
And because he does know how to play Loki. He knows how to work his Loki.
Right.
Yes, he does know
And-
how to work his Loki.
Yeah. And we find out through that how he really feels about Sylvie. And
Yes.
we can talk in a moment about kind of what is going on between those two.
There's the respect between Mobius and Loki right there, because Mobius is able to play Loki the way Loki plays everybody.
him. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's because they know each other.
And the
so
only
well.
other and the only other person who can do that to Loki is Black Widow.
Right.
Yes, she is. And not even Thor gets away with that. But yeah, Black Widow can. Yeah.
Thor has always been, Thor's not the brightest bulb.
No.
Either in the
Loki-
old mythology or in the
Loki's definitely the brains of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And Mobius is much more like that. He's very clever. Very clever. So here's the question that I have, given the scene that we have between that leads to the TVA finding them. And by the way, I said the TVA was going to rescue them, and I was correct.
Yep, you called it.
The crazy moment where she touches the Loki that we know.
They take each
Creates
other's
that
hands. Say it. They take
Right.
each other's hands.
yeah. They start showing some whatever for each other.
Right. Some interest.
And some of the things that was said during that moment, and also that is backed up with the Lady Civ moment, is you're going to be Sylvie. Let me break it down better. Sylvie says that they're always alone, and destined to lose, and that they don't have anyone. Neither one of them have anyone. And of course, in that moment, they have each other, right?
Yep.
And then, later we see in the time loop with Civ, she says, "You're going to be forever alone." She curses him, even when she doesn't, kick him in the jumblies. She hurts him worse by just saying to him, "You're going to be forever alone." Oh, that's a low blow as well.
Yeah.
And hurts much worse. So here's the question: have those two found someone, or so are they going to be buddies, or is there going to be some boinking?
I'm still not 100% sure Sylvie is actually a Loki variant.
Really?
I'm still not 100% sold on that.
I'm with Walt. I'm starting to question whether or not she's a variant.
You think she's
really,
something else?
I think she might be something else, and not actually a Loki variant.
Well, and plus we also get the clue that with what one of the timekeepers said to her. You were a child of time. You were a child of timekeepers. So what is the timekeeper referencing to in that? So
There's always a possibility that it's Loki that's running this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Loki.
Yeah.
And Sylvie might,
not our Loki, not the one that we're following.
Yeah.
But another Loki is.
I refer to our Loki as Loki Prime.
There you go.
Right.
So Loki.
Although
Prime.
he's also
A variant, yeah.
He's a variant of what we know. I don't know. It's very confusing.
That's why I call him Loki Prime, just to keep him straight.
Gabrielle, are you saying that maybe they snatched her out because she was a female Loki? Like maybe that was the reason why she's a variant?
I like
just being a female alone.
I don't think
was the issue.
I don't think, because we don't know,
so that the two could fall in love.
Yeah, because see, I don't know if they haven't explained how she got to Asgard. Yeah, we don't know how she got to Asgard. Was she rescued after a battle on the Frost Giant from the Frost Giants? Is she a Frost Giant child? They haven't said. We don't know.
We don't know if she's a Frost Giant. Yeah,
we still don't know what.
Yeah, we don't know if she's Jotun, like like Loki Prime is.
Yeah, they haven't explained if she's from Jotunheim or not. So,
I don't know if we're really going to. Marvel has kind of said, and you can't believe anything they say because they like swerving, is that there's nothing romantic between the two of them. But again, you can't rely on what Marvel is telling you. Sometimes they will tell you things to swerve you away from what's really going to happen.
And with her,
on the other hand, there's no reason to believe that either of these two characters are going to make it out of this series. We got 2 more episodes. Who knows who's going to survive this thing?
Right. And with her being the, technically or maybe unofficially the Enchantress, there's always been a kind of a little rivalry between Loki and the Enchantress in the comics. So, so.
Yeah, I mean, it leads more and more to Enchantress in this thing. I think they're leaning, because they don't need 2 Lokis.
No, one is quite enough. Thank you.
One's plenty. If they can resurrect one Loki in this thing and keep him going, I hope they do. That's probably.
I do too.
Yeah.
Gabriella says maybe it starts always the same, but there's also you never know.
I know what she's saying there.
Right. Yeah, I think that maybe they are doing a little bit of a mix there between the two of them. I think that they're leaning heavily towards Enchantress, but also, it's got some sprinklings of Loki.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's very much in the comics as well. The comics have mixed those characters up on multiple occasions where they are connected in one way or another. So this is very much in line with what we've seen in the comics.
Because in a sense, the two characters are almost, as far as powers and everything, are almost the same. But with usually the Enchantress trying to catch the eye of Thor. So
neither of you want to bite on whether they're going to be a couple or not?
I'm not going to bite on that.
All right.
I'm just going to wait and see on that one. I'm not going to make any predictions.
We don't even know if these characters are going to make it out of this thing. And I mean, I also say that there's another element to this that we haven't really explored much, which is the whole theme of this series so far has been false memories, alternate realities, erasing your past.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring up something
else. Is it possible that this whole damn thing is an illusion? Like we're in someone's mind playing out this game for some reason. At the end of it, we find out who's pulling the strings and what they're trying to find out or something. Maybe it's all a ruse. I don't know. Who knows?
I'll say one thing. As in the comics now,
which by the way is really cool.
Right. In the comics now,
I've mentioned how it's like The Prisoner.
Oh yeah.
You know, and Doctor Who and a bunch of other things where it's all a bunch of mind games. They are playing that.
And The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard
of Oz, yeah.
Where you cannot trust your eyes.
Right. So, we got to see Sylvie as a kid. This goes back to our earlier thing. Maybe we end up seeing that younger version of Sylvie come out of this. You don't know. I mean, because we are talking about time variance and whatnot. Because Sylvie, as a teen, is one of the members of the Young Avengers.
Yes. So is the young Loki.
Oh, we'll get to that.
By the way,
we'll get to that.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
So B-15 has her moment. She was the one who was most staunchly against variants and how they were scum and can't be trusted. And then, the last time that we really saw her was back in the Rocksmart?
Rocksmart.
Yeah. Back
where she had been briefly taken over and maybe had a little bit of a revelation of her past life.
Right.
Through being taken over, and then begins to question everything else. Just like anyone who gets tainted. Is it any question why Renslayer didn't want Mobius to talk to Lady Loki?
Oh, no question. No question.
I mean, because everyone she touches, she spoils.
Right.
She gets them to question their whole existence, and she's a real poison pill here. And so anyway, B-15 goes into the deal with Sylvie, and takes her off to that Rocksmart location again, and basically says what's going on here.
Yeah, what did you do to me?
We have this and then we have this great moment where she reaches out, B-15 reaches out to Sylvie and says, show me. And then they do not show this moment, and I wish that they'd shown me 30 seconds of whatever her previous life was. I think that would have been great. Although, with that said, still very powerful moment.
Right.
Where, that plays out on her face. Again, congratulations to the actor, for that moment. And, she discovers that she had a happy life before all of this bullshit happened to her.
Right.
So then she is an agent of chaos. and starts to correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't see her again after that scene, right?
No, we didn't.
So we don't know where she is or what she's doing.
Well, she gets knocked down, but
we don't see her get up after that.
Right.
Okay.
I don't think she was killed. I think she was just knocked out.
She was knocked out.
Yeah.
No, I think she's still running around someplace.
Yeah.
So, look, everything goes nuts.
Everything goes nuts.
Let me show.
Everything goes nuts.
Literally.
Let me share the screen. This is the moment where everything is kind of culminating. They have Sylvie here, who's being escorted to.
Why don't I get the same amount of protection?
Right. Right. That was funny. That was funny.
He's still competing.
Hey, why isn't it about me? Why isn't it about me?
Well,
that goes back to what, and that was actually what I've been sitting here looking for. It goes back to something that Loki says to Sif at one point. Now I'm gonna go back and find.
Oh, that he craves attention.
Yeah. Please, no more. Please, I beg you. I am a horrible person. I get it. I really am. I cut off your hair because I thought it'd be funny. And it's not. I crave attention because I'm a narcissist. And I suppose it's because I'm scared of being alone. And he goes and falls in love with himself. If that is not the epitome of narcissist, I don't know what it is.
Right. Mobius made that point. Mobius made that point.
Yes, he did. And it was a great point.
Gabriella said that she loved the moment with
B-15. Oh yeah, with B-15.
Yeah.
And which turns out B-15 turns out to be a hero that nobody expected.
Exactly.
To step
up. I felt like there was because they had so much going. They followed her so much.
Right.
That I felt like she had a turn coming. She had a she had a character arc there.
The looks,
and I don't think it's done.
I don't think it's done either.
I don't think it's done either. Like I said, I think she's still running around, and she may end up being a major part of whatever the resolution.
Hopefully they have her partnering up with Mobius when this is
all
done.
Yeah. Whatever happens. I mean, whatever happens,
because she's definitely the strong arm. And
she says that B-15 is amazing. So,
Yeah.
look, they prune Mobius.
Yeah,
And
about
right,
that.
right after, right, right after we get the moment where Loki calls him a friend,
Right.
Yes.
and it's like, oh, that is, wow,
Yeah.
for them to. For him to open himself up like that and have
then-
that moment, you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then, zip, he's done.
Gone.
Done.
I think that, I mean, literally, my mouth must have stayed open for about 2 minutes. I was like, I can't believe they just did that.
I was the same way.
How
Yeah.
dare they do that? Are
I
you
was the
kidding me?
Like I said, it was probably good
Because-
that I watched it alone the first time because Dan and Kate would have been like, "Mom, calm down, calm down, calm down."
Because, in my mind, I want to see Owen Wilson for the next 10 years show up and shit.
Yes.
Yes.
And I told you that I had a genuine affection for his take on his character and what he brings and how, anything. Look, and we're getting into the multiverse of madness here in the next few films. Everything's going to be about time. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities for Mobius to come out there. And then, just like that, he's gone.
Yep.
But is he?
I don't know.
Oh, we were all shocked there, Gabriella. I was just like, you got...
I literally stood there with my mouth open like, I can't believe,
yeah.
Congratulations.
You got to be effing kidding me.
Congratulations.
I literally said that.
Yeah. Congratulations to look, everyone who bitches and whines about the setup on this stuff, where you set up the TVA, you set up Mobius, you set up Renslayer, you set up both Lokis, you set up you take time to establish a relationship between each of these characters, not just one character, but the relationships between each of them, right? So you need the train scene in the third
You have to
thing
yeah.
to establish the relationship between the two Lokis. You need the salad scene
Oh, yeah.
to establish the relationship between Loki and Mobius, and many other scenes where they're just sitting and talking. They're sitting in a room talking to each other, trying to do the chess moves on each other intellectually and stuff for them to gain respect for each other and to learn to be friends. Despite the fact that Loki, metaphorically stabbed him in the back on many occasions.
Right.
Gabrielle says he could be like a museum guide to the TVA and the multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we said he could be like the Coulson of the next round of movies, where if someone needs to come in and kind of investigate something or whatever, he could do that. The everyman.
But there's nothing saying that he's not going to be that. So I'm just going to hold. We don't know. I'm going to hold my breath.
I don't think we haven't seen the end of Mobius.
I want him back. I mean,
yeah.
look, here's the thing. We know that there's a trillion variants. I mean, it's like they could bring you back in the next episode. It's just I want that one.
Right.
I want the one that became friends with Loki. That's what I want. I mean, and yes, they could rekindle their friendship, and I get that too. But I want that variant.
Yeah, I don't think he's gone.
We still haven't
Right.
we still haven't learned where Mobius came from, and him figuring out that he's
It's
a
entirely
variant.
possible that the final scene of the series is Loki going to California or whatever and seeing
in 1990
Mobius on a jet ski and kind of tipping his hat to him, and that's
But that also opens up the possibility of Loki and Sylvie taking one of the time pads and going back to just prior to just before.
it's
Renslayer.
time, folks. That this is the conversation that I had with people after Infinity War, which is like, oh my God, they killed Black Panther, they killed Spider-Man, what are they doing? All this stuff. It's like, folks, this is comic books.
It's wibbly-wobbly.
There's 100 million ways for these people to come back.
Yeah.
There's time travel. There's alternate dimensions. There's clones. There's people who are Kree or whatever that they're not actually the people that you think they are.
No one ever stays dead in comics.
There's so many ways to bring these people back.
Gary just brought up a good point, Dirk.
Yeah.
Gary's comment.
Right. If Loki went somewhere when he got pruned, so did Mobius. And we are going to talk about that here in a moment, kind of give our thoughts on what's happening next. Although, let's be honest, we don't really know.
Yeah, and I'm also,
at this point,
we don't really know.
It's a crapshoot. Yeah.
I'm with Gabriella as well. I'm not sure he's dead.
We have
I don't think he is.
We do have the Quantum Realm, Quantumania coming up in Ant-Man. And we also have Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. And we know that the Spider-Man movie is going to be balls to the wall crazy crap.
Yeah.
With maybe the original versions of the two Spider-Mans we've seen in the movie.
Hey,
all kinds of stuff. So,
and you know what? The next Spider-Man,
no, he's not dead.
You never know. The next Spider-Man animated movie may be a soft sequel to that movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
You hear this?
Is that a tornado warning? Is that a tornado warning?
No, flash flood.
Oh, good. Woo.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Holy cats. All right. This is spoiler alert. There's your alert.
There's our alert, yeah.
I think she says, I think that too. No one knows, but I hope he is alive. I think we all do. I mean, look, they played us. Congratulations, creators of this series. You played us pretty well on that one.
You did. And you gave us. I had
great respect for how much fondness that I had for that character and how much it hurt for them to do that to him.
And you know what? I got to take it to Marvel.
She wants to see Toby.
I expected a swerve, but I didn't expect this many in one episode.
Oh my God!
So,
and again,
this was insane.
You have to have that slow. Hello, guys. You have to have that slow burn in the first few episodes. You can't. The payoff is not there if you do that in the first episode, folks.
Right.
Oh, I mean, pacing, plot, folks. Yep. Look into it. It's a thing.
See, here's the thing. It is a crapshoot at this point, all right? Because if we actually look at the full timeline of what set all of this in motion...
Gary says what I said earlier.
Gary's awesome, yeah. If we look at what sets us off in motion with Endgame, where they start going back in time and screwing with the timelines. I mean, going as far back as what, 1970 something to get the Tesseract.
I think it was 74.
Yeah, so from 1974 to current day, everything, the pooch got screwed.
Yeah,
the pooch got screwed.
Yep. Gary says that Loki definitely screwed the timeline. Seattle is Oklahoma weather in Oklahoma. Yeah, it's blazing hot in Seattle, and it's raining here like cats and dogs. Gabriella says that Toby's Spider-Man, I assume, is the first DVD that she watched in English. Yeah, it's Loki's fault with the weather. No,
always. Gotta blame somebody. Might as well blame him. He's got broad shoulders.
Not only do we get the pruning of Mobius in this, but we also get a pretty handy fight scene where that reminded me of The Last Jedi, where they're kind of fighting side by side or whatever, and then Sylvie lobs that scepter or whatever at the main dude's head and lops it off, and what comes back is a robot head.
Androids, aliens, and wizards. Androids, aliens, and wizards. Sam Wilson was right.
Yeah, like Gary says, we just assumed that Captain America was able to put those stones back correctly.
Apparently he did not.
Anytime that you start messing with this stuff,
you forget Loki is the catalyst. All the other stones were put back in the right spot except one.
Except for the Tesseract.
Right.
So
the Tesseract.
One more thing. Going back, this is going to go back a little bit. Me talking about
the big three.
The big three.
Let's not forget Mobius mentioning vampires.
Yes.
And
yes.
And the Kree.
Which is, I mean, again, a little hint at to what is to come with Blade.
That's a hint to Blade.
It's
So
a big hint to Blade.
So and
it's
the Kree,
nice to see. I mean, now that we have the television stuff actually being done by the MCU, it's nice to see something where you get a little foreshadowing and other stuff. You get a little, it's nice to see it all integrated. We're definitely seeing that. So just about the time that those two are going to, I don't know, hug or do something else. Guess who else gets pruned?
Yeah, I'm sitting there at that scene just yelling, "Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!" No! Yeah.
They sure took that moment away from us.
So just ripped it right out.
So you want to talk about things coming back in full circle? That's exactly how Loki took out Coulson.
Yeah.
It is, absolutely.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, good point.
That's exactly how Loki took out Coulson. So
it's one of those things, like, also an Endgame, where, Black Panther just made like $1.5 billion, and then you see Black Panther turn to dust.
Yeah.
You know that's not the finale.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Because when I see Mobius get pruned, it's like, oh, shit.
Yes.
But then when I see Loki get pruned, it's like, something else is going on here.
Yeah.
Well,
they're not going to get rid of...
Remember what he says to the Timekeepers.
They're not getting rid of that character easily.
I have been killed so many times. You basically do your worst, and we'll see how this plays out.
Loki is exactly precisely like the Joker,
Yep.
It's just to end the storyline, the character is killed,
yeah,
and then the character seemingly just comes back. Loki doesn't have 9 lives. Loki has infinite lives.
Yeah.
He's like I say, he's DED. He's dead because there's no A, because you can't be dead without the A in dead. So he's
DED. Dead.
Yeah, yeah. Gabrielle says no way with Loki. And again, we could conceivably have picked up with another variant or something. But again, I have affection for this version. And the character arc that this character's gone through and the relationships that he's created. So, yeah, we could start over again with Loki. But I like this Loki. Let me have this Loki. So, let's see. I think that one of the interesting things here is that we have a turnaround where at the beginning of the show, we see Renslayer let Sylvie go. She could have grabbed her.
And she didn't.
And she didn't. She hesitated and let that character go. And to replay that, Sylvie has that pruning device or whatever on Renslayer and could have knocked her right off. But obviously she wants some information, and maybe she still doesn't want to let her entirely go.
I was actually surprised that we didn't see her prune Renslayer.
Yeah.
I really was.
But then again, what she said to her, not pruning her, is that's part of the plan.
Yeah.
So
right.
She wants to know more.
She needs information. Also, like in The Prisoner.
Yeah, she's definitely not getting it
I
out
want
of Timekeepers.
information.
Information.
Gabriella says, I really have to say I enjoy this thing here. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much, Gabriella. We appreciate you saying that. Thank you
for watching, yeah.
You're welcome, and thank you. Excuse me.
Right. Yeah, it was smart to not off her. Because she's the only one who really seems to have any idea about what's going on. She's the only one that we've met right now who has part of the story. She's the only one who knows. I mean, she's been reporting to those creatures, and she's been inveigled.
Supposedly
reporting
Right.
to them. Yeah.
I mean, she's she was in on it, whatever. I mean, I think that she was fooled by them, but I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know why you would drag them in front. If she didn't believe that they were real, she wouldn't have made the thing of, we're going to drag you in front of them because they want to see you de-rezzed.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because last week when I was watching, I was like, that's so much like being Derez progressing. Right. And I'm like, oh wait, we are watching a Marvel show on
Disney.
On Disney Plus. No. Little line crossing there.
She says next week, same time, and Black Widow's coming up next. Yeah,
yes.
Black Widow will come up in,
I think 2 weeks
not this
after
Friday, but the next Friday. It's
is it next Friday?
Yeah, it's about a week and a day away.
Yes, July 9th, yeah.
Ooh, they moved it up, because it was supposed to have been like 2 weeks after Loki was finished.
I think it was
People
July 9th.
we're hearing, this is a little aside here, but we are hearing some good things about, I mean, we're getting actual reviews now, and some people are reporting good things. Some other people, like maybe their expectations were too high because it's been a while since we've seen a Marvel movie. And we've been hinted at. Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah,
but I've heard like one-line
to
reviews of stuff, and some people are very happy with it, and some people were a little disappointed. It wasn't as spectacular as maybe they were expecting. So anyway, who knows? I always reserve for my own judgment. But Gabriella, we'll be back the same time next week.
Same time, same bat time, same bat station.
Unless Cox Cable does something screwy to
Dirk. Or we get the flood
and bad weather. So, but yeah, we'll be here next week.
She says sometimes I think maybe she is not bad, but she has to do stuff to save someone. Are you talking about Renslayer or about
Sylvie?
Sylvie. Yeah, I don't think that she is all bad any more than I don't think Loki is all bad.
Yeah.
You have to kind of realize where their loyalties lie to themselves. And sometimes that's... Oh, she says Renslayer.
No, I'm pretty sure Renslayer's bad.
I got a feeling Renslayer, seeing as we know in the comics, she's got relations with Kang the Conqueror. I got a feeling she's in on something. So
yeah,
I feel like that too. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bigger picture issues going on here.
Yeah,
for sure. We still have not seen that. We got 2 episodes, and I don't suspect that we'll see really what's going on until the very end, and then maybe not even. So here's what happens. I didn't know that there would be a post-credit scenes. My mouth was still very much agape because of what happened to both Loki and to Mobius, and I just really didn't. I was like, I hope there's a post-credit scene. Guess what?
There's a post-credit scene.
There's a post-creded scene, and boy was it a doozy.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cats! Let's see if I can get up what I'm talking about here. Let's bring this up correctly.
Yeah, I teased everybody with that post-credit scene with our ad, and there it is.
There's the 4 Lokis, folks, and I'll take this off so you can see the 4th Loki. But I mean, we've got this guy who they are calling Boastful Loki. Okay, I've got a picture of him from the comics here in a minute, but that, folks, is Mjolnir. Meow Meow.
Meow Meow. Meow Meow.
Which is a pretty cool version of that, but he's worthy of the hammer. This is a Loki who's worthy of the hammer, right?
Worthy of the hammer, yeah.
You've got the young Loki. We've talked about young Loki on many occasions, and since we have, or Kid Loki, that Young Avengers movie is
right around the corner.
Yep. I mean, they have not announced it, but I mean, come on, man. They are setting everything up. It's all being set up. This is the character I was trying to come up with the other day. I said his name was Ben Grant. That's not correct. His name is Ben. What the heck is his name? It's
Richard
something.
Grant.
Richard Grant. Thank you.
Richard Grant.
Richard Grant is the character I was talking about, and he is a older version of Loki, and they call him Classic Loki.
Classic
instead
Loki.
of instead of old Loki.
Classic.
So
Yeah,
he's got the
costuming,
outfit, and presumably also very much super evil. You know, like the old version of Loki that is up everyone's bunghole on numerous things.
Yes.
And then finally we have, believe it or not,
It's Crocodile.
we have what people are calling alligator Loki. Because he's got you notice he's got the little, he's got the little horns here.
That is an alligator, but they've been calling him Crocodile.
Okay.
Loki. But I'm going to go with alligator because the snout's not pointy enough to be a crocodile.
I'm not an expert, so I will defer to people who know better than I do.
And that's just me being an armchair observation thing. So
some people say that this is, kind of alluding to when Thor was a frog in the comics. There was a period of time where he was enchanted as a frog.
Yeah.
So
and that was
if Thor can be a frog, then Loki can be an alligator or a crocodile.
Let's not forget. Remember when Thor told the story of when Loki turned himself into a snake?
Oh yes,
God, yes,
yes, that's good. Here is Kid Loki from the comics, just so you can see that. Thor doesn't want him to keep playing on that phone, I guess.
That's funny.
That's a great picture, isn't it?
That is a great picture.
Thor is put off by this. This is the boastful Loki that they're talking about, and you can see there is Loki right there, and there's Meow Meow,
meow meow,
in his hand. He's a worthy version of Loki. Such a good guy that he can pick up the hammer. And then what else do I have here? Oh, that's what's coming up next, folks. We can talk about that here in one moment. So, what's your impressions of, and I'm going to go through some comments here. What's your impressions of these characters, and where the hell are they?
So one thing I noticed with the "where the hell are they" is off to the right, and you can't see it, as you're looking at the TV screen. Off to the right.
I like post credits too.
Post credits are awesome. There is a ruined Avengers Tower.
Yes, that's a good catch. There is an Avengers Tower in the background, so they are in like some version of New York.
Some version of New York.
Maybe in New York where that nuclear weapon that they had went off or something.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Back in Avengers.
Yeah, that's a good hypothesis. Yeah.
That's a good one. There. I like that.
How about Croaky?
Croaky.
There we go.
Croaky.
I like that a lot. Alligator. Gabriella's got the. She's got the puns.
She's on it.
She's going.
She's on it.
I have no idea what is going on here. They're probably hiding in an apocalypse, I'm thinking. If Loki was not dispatched by the pruning device, then where is everyone else?
Then where are they being?
Are they all being
dumped?
stored somewhere? Yeah,
they're being dumped somewhere. So Mobius may still be around.
He may be. The Mobius we know may be still around, or he may be gone. We don't know. Maybe Loki got out of that because they pulled him out, or something. But it could also very much be like Endgame, where they're just in, whatever,
limbo.
Soul Stone or limbo or
limbo.
whatever. Yeah, you got it, Gabrielle. I think that this picture that I hinted at earlier, I think that's the world that we're going into, and this is not the variant we know. It's like Escape from New York or something, where you know, he's the Duke, and he's maybe
You're
running the
Duke.
show.
You're
Yeah,
the Duke.
this one is the Duke, and he's running the show. Although I don't know. I have no idea.
This particular variant has been through the ringer, though. I mean, look at his clothing.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is not the TVA look.
No,
This is a different deal. So
completely different look.
yeah,
for him.
I mean, our Loki is in the button-up shirt with a tie. You know, he hasn't had the jacket on here for a little bit, but you know, it's not this jacket and it's not this tie. So I think that this is yet another different deal. And I mean, if you look at, you know, this dude, you know, these are sycophants. This guy has some utensils on his head. I think that this is probably where we're going here in this next episode. Gabriella calls it the Loki verse, and she says President Loki. She says instead of the Duke.
I'd vote for him. Oh,
well, there you go.
That out loud.
He would love that. He would love if you would vote for him.
I'd vote for him.
Let's see. Let me remove that. So I guess the question. Let's see. Here's some questions to kind of bring this all home for us here. What's next? Who is running the running the TVA?
I'm through. I'm through.
Is our Mobius gone forever? Where did Loki wake up, and what will happen on the show?
I don't think Mobius is gone. I still think we've got Kang working the background here. I don't know. Now, I don't think we'll see him in this series.
Maybe not. There has to be some payoff, though.
There's going to be
we have to know who's behind the.
We have to know who's behind it. But I don't know.
Somehow they have to tell us that whether we see him or not. There has to be a way that we figure it out.
That we figure it out that it's him.
Yeah.
Man, I have no idea. This is so Doctor Who-ish. You know,
they've done a great job of setting all of this stuff up, and then, you know, sometimes it's very obvious where they're going with stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like it was pretty obvious in WandaVision and in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But in this one, I mean, you know, with time travel and all these different worlds and now the different Lokis and all, like literally anything can happen here. I'm not sure where they're going next, to be honest. We surmise that maybe they are in like a post-apocalyptic New York, which suggests that it's not like another realm, you know? It's someplace that they have appropriated for some purpose.
That post-apocalyptic New York scene has got to be something that is completely off the timeline. Right. Otherwise, those variants wouldn't be there unless all the variant Lokis are there.
Right.
So this has to be something that has to be completely off the timeline, completely out of the TVA radar.
Right. And if that is the same world that we see the you know, vote for me Loki, there are other people there that are not Lokis, obviously.
Yeah.
So that suggests that maybe other variants are in this universe, and that maybe someone's been playing this game for a long time. Mm-hmm. I don't know. If they're being pruned and they're being moved to someplace else and saved, then, you know,
that's what
again, who's in charge? Who's in charge of this thing? And
that's what I think is going on.
What's the end game? I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I think that we will see our Mobius again.
I think we'll see C20 back again too.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. And I still feel that B-15 is going to play a big part in this resolution as well.
I think so too.
I think the next episode is going to be super ass bonkers.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be just
the next two.
I think they've just really, I mean, because what they've done is they pulled the rug out from under us.
Oh, they did. They did. 100%. 100%.
It didn't go in any direction that I thought it was going to go in, and I didn't make any predictions about directions. This was just in my head, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've really enjoyed about this is they have thrown us some curveballs that have kept us all guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I mean, look, they have 50 years of comic book history, longer.
Yeah.
And, 12 years or something, 12, 13 years of MCU history. It's not easy to swerve people who are sitting around like us picking apart every little stupid thing. And so, hats off to them for continuing to give us some stuff and surprising us again and keeping us on our toes. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's not easy. Gabrielle says that maybe TV is run by Loki. I mean, we talked about that earlier, and that's why they're focused on Loki. The variants, they're storing the variants in the Loki first for some reason. Maybe
get rid of all of his iterations.
Right? Are they getting rid, or are they creating a Loki army?
Yeah, one or the other.
Right. Yeah. Well, there it is. Gabrielle said that same thing. Maybe they're creating a Loki. Maybe.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
But it's fun getting to that point.
It sure
oh my
is.
gosh, yes. Oh boy.
Any final thoughts on this episode, or just the series in general, or whatever you want to talk about?
This series has definitely stepped up as I'm gonna say it, my favorite. Very, very quickly followed by Falcon and Winter Soldier, because you all know how I am about Bucky, but they've just done so much with this, and
me too. I thoroughly enjoyed. I thoroughly enjoyed WandaVision as well.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm gonna be the guy that says that everything has been great and it just keeps getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I enjoyed WandaVision, I enjoyed Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm enjoying this. And it's just like, like I said last week, feed me more.
Yes, keep feeding me.
Coming. Just keep it coming. So
we are truly blessed with this stuff. I mean, I keep saying it, and what's amazing to me is, again, I'm going to mention the whinging class that is still, like, I see other stuff on YouTube where people are like, well, the Marvel Universe is over. I guess it's all over now.
Oh, I know. It's just ridiculous that they start
because every movie is not Endgame, and it's like, again,
we're starting a new story here.
Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie was not Endgame.
Right.
It took them a decade to build up to Endgame.
Right.
And the follow-up to Endgame can't be Endgame, folks.
Right. Right.
and to be honest,
you have to tell a story.
Endgame was the culmination of all of it, but there were so many movies from the original Iron Man 2 Endgame that are so much better than Endgame. Endgame is the culmination of all of it.
Endgame is the payoff for all of this stuff, for fans who have followed this thing, and it's all. I mean, Endgame was almost 100% fan service.
Yeah, it was.
I can't imagine someone who, for the first time they ever watched a Marvel movie, they watched Endgame and got much out of it. Now, it may be entertaining as a roller coaster ride or the curiosity of stuff, but when Tony Stark says, I am Iron Man, you're not going to have the same feeling if you haven't been watching him for 13 years and seen him go from being an arrogant a-hole to being,
I'm giving myself up to save everybody.
The mentor of Spider-Man, and eventually sacrificing himself for the sake of the Marvel Universe. He had a conversation with Steve Rogers in one of the, I think maybe it's the second Avengers movie, where he says something about, like, you're not willing to sacrifice yourself for the greater good or whatever.
Yeah,
man.
Oh yes, he was.
Did they know that was going to happen at that time? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, but they sure set that character arc up.
No, they did big time.
And yes, Endgame on its own is not a payoff.
No.
You have to have the rest of the shit.
You have to have everything else, yeah.
That builds up to that. All of the films, all of the the elements.
And we're building up new characters. Actually,
we're doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're starting over again. So,
Gabriella says that they like more people of color and also LGBTQ. And people of people of different nationalities and
because we're going to get Camilla Khan's Miss Marvel, and I think Camilla Khan is
Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
and
Shang-Chi.
Again,
yeah,
it's like
I'm looking forward to that one big time.
Marvel's doing what Marvel does, which is take these different elements. I mean, with Shang-Chi, they're making a Chinese martial arts movie as a superhero movie.
I can't wait.
With the Eternals, I'm not sure exactly how to classify that, but I mean, it's written by Neil Gaiman, so I'm going to say it's kind of a sweeping fantasy film as a superhero film, right?
I would probably list it like a science fiction fantasy.
Loki is Doctor Who in superhero. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Ant-Man was a crime caper,
a heist movie,
a heist movie as a superhero movie. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was Lethal Weapon, as a superhero movie. That's what Marvel's doing, and they continue to. It's not just different genres, but now they are also reaching out to different, different nationalities and different.
And they're combining genres too. They're combining genres as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it keeps it fresh and interesting. And this is all. We're very much at the beginning of a 10-year period. We're starting over again.
Yeah, we're starting over.
Just think about, if
it can't always be up here.
Black Widow is almost like Iron Man 1 again, folks.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what post-credit scenes we're going to get out of that movie that's going to tie that to everything else. So,
yeah, Gabrielle says she cried so much because of Iron Man.
We all did.
We
all did.
We
Don't
get me started on
another
that.
Contributor named Casey Jane who's on the show, and we would check in with her every so often, and she was watching all of the Marvel movies sequentially, kind of all in one. As fast as she could.
She didn't
she didn't see them in the theaters. So she was watching them, one at a time play out, and she would check in with us, every few weeks or something, and would say, "Hey, I just watched this. Here's where I am," and all this sort of stuff. And then she would talk about, "Hey, I'm getting close to Infinity War."
Tony Stark was her favorite.
And Tony Stark was she just loves Tony Stark, and all this sort of stuff. And then she saw Infinity War, and she's like, thank goodness they didn't mess with Iron Man and all this sort of stuff. And I love Iron Man, and he's my favorite. We're like, that's absolutely right. And we did not tip her off to that. And she was so mad that we didn't tell her what was going to happen in Endgame. But she, it's no good if you don't experience it the way it's meant to be, which is seeing it sequentially and get the payoff, get the moment where Captain America grabs Mjolnir. Spoiler alert.
I love that scene.
Oh, that scene. I saw the movie 3 times in the movie theater, and every time the crowd jumped up screaming that scene.
I liked the scene in Infinity War too, where you see Steve, Steve's fighting and everything, and there's Groot. I am Groot. Without missing a beat.
Gabrielle, are you saying that Iron Man's still your favorite?
I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Right. Him and Loki, and then Wanda.
Wanda. Nice.
We are getting I guess you're saying that the diversity is not just in the side characters; it's in the main characters.
It's all,
we talked a lot about in Falcon and the Winter Soldier how important it was for Captain America, the name, the mantle of Captain America to be a black man. It's very. It's a wonderful moment.
We're going to get America Chavez too, so
yeah.
Yeah.
And the new guy who's going to play Falcon. They set him up as well.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Cruz? Cruz?
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember his name in the TV show, but yeah.
I think it's wonderful, and it keeps things fresh and interesting. You know, everyone wants. What's amazing to me is, gosh, we got to wrap this up at some point. What's amazing to me is that people who, you know, for the past 10 years really enjoy the main characters, Iron Man, you know, Thor, Captain America, and they want it to continue to be those three characters from now on. It's like, if it is those three characters from now on, the way that they were, it's going to get boring, folks.
Yeah.
You know, it's much better to let there's plenty of, it's okay to let them tell their story, to have an arc, to wrap it up, and then
move on.
And then let's have new stories.
And people need to also, you know,
it doesn't take away from what happened before. You can still enjoy those things.
Here's where the line between the cinematic universe and the comic universe is being drawn with certain fans. They don't want to see what happened in the comics come onto the movie screen because they want to see RDJ as Iron Man all the time. They don't want to see a female Thor. You know, they don't want to see a black man as Captain America. But what they're not understanding is that as the natural progression of the stories went, even in the comic books, we have seen all these different changes. Biggest one I can think of, Miles Morales as Spider-Man. I mean, you know, that happened a while back. You know, DC has done it too with certain characters. I mean, we've seen Batman.
As real Batman.
Yeah, we've seen it with, you know, we've had different Flashes. I mean, you know, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and
Let's not talk about the other one. Robin.
Oh, yeah, the different Robins. You know, so we've we're seeing such a diversity being brought in, and you know, we've got people going, oh, but why are they doing that? Well, because this is what they did in the comics. This is how the comics ran.
And the same people will complain about, well, why don't you just create new characters? And it's like,
exactly.
This is a new character. This is a new character, just taking on the mantle of the old character.
Yeah, because new character, you know, it brings something new to it. You have over
50 years of stuff. Look, unless you reset the universe every 3 movies.
And we're tired of reboots. Remember, people?
Yeah, no reboots. No reboots.
Right. People who are tired of reboots.
Yes, Spider-Man can be 18 years old multiple times, but you have to reset the universe to make that happen.
Exactly.
If you want to if you want a continuing storyline that plays out over decades, then, you know, RDJ, who, by the way, is like 57, at a certain point has to hand it over, folks.
Yeah.
We don't want a 67-year-old Iron Man. We want him to be as he is, you know, how we love him. And then make room for other people. It's okay.
We don't want to see Iron Man suddenly having the same problems that Indiana Jones is. And I'm just going to leave it there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oop.
I think someone just dropped a mic.
Oop.
I think there was
shots
some mic.
Fired. Shots fired. Shots fired.
And I love Harrison Ford, but I'm sorry.
So do I. And he's already hurt himself, and they're already filming around.
He hurt himself in you know, for the Star Wars movies. That right there should have told him, I'm letting the stunt double do it from now on.
he's hurt himself.
I don't want to see.
I don't mean to laugh at him hurting himself, but you know,
I mean,
he's
I love the guy
at the age where you shouldn't be doing action movies.
He, you know, love the guy to death. You know, let's not also forget that
I feel like I'm at the age that I shouldn't be making action movies, and I'm a lot younger than him.
Let's not forget that he tried to land his plane on the wrong runway a few years ago too.
Yes.
You know, I think Harrison, I love you to death, but
honey, there was a little too much spice from the spice mines of Kessel floating around the Millennium Falcon. It's time for you to hang it up.
Yeah. So anyway,
sorry, Dirk.
Dirk Hooper 2.0. I think that I love this series. I said last episode that this is my favorite series for many reasons. For the themes that they're talking about, the alternate universe, the time travel, the mind wiping, not knowing who you are or what's going on. That I love that sort of thing. I love the music in this. She says Dark Hooper 2.0 in cinemas 2020. I think that we're really getting something special once again. You know, if you can just relax and enjoy this thing, they're putting these things out. You know, right? Just relax. And let it
working,
happen.
honey. Just bring it on. Bring it on.
Let it happen, folks. All right, I'm going to back out of that, and I'm going to start putting up our goodies. Let's go to Beth first for how people can. I still haven't corrected this. This will never be corrected.
No, I sent you the correct links today. I forgot to send them to you sooner. I'm sorry.
Well, and I forgot. You know, look, these weeks go by so quick, folks.
That's all right. It's no worries.
It goes by so quick. It's like, is it Thursday? Are we doing another one of these? I can't. I'm stunned when it becomes Tuesday and I have to do the Tuesday night show. It just never. It's always a surprise.
It's a never-ending story. Oh, earworm!
Wow!
Oh my God! I've had that.
Didn't you?
I've had that watermelon sugar high song going through my head all day. I mean, it started like I took a shower and it's watermelon sugar. You know, it's all in my head. I can't get it out of there. It's so in my head today.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Beth, where can people find you?
You can find me on my website at bethandfreely.com. And if you're looking for some freelance book editing and or website design, you can find me at themusesfunhouse.com. That's my side business. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at behavefreely. Man, if you read one of my books and you want to go leave me a review, please hit me up on Amazon.com under Beth A. Freely, or even on Goodreads at Beth A. Freely. That's where I'm at. And in hopefully 2 weeks, you'll see me on Task Force Geek Book Crew. So keep an eye out for that.
Say 2 weeks?
That's what I'm aiming for. So.
All right.
Beth's
going to run that one.
Yeah, you're going to hold me.
Beth's going to run that one. She's already got guests lined up, which is cool.
I do. Got guests lined up, and I got some instructional PowerPoints I'm setting up for y'all.
Oh, I'm excited.
Some stuff. Yeah.
I want that. I love that. I'm reading right now like a book a day on writing. I'm in a creative moment right now. And so any sort of like talking about writing, I'm all about right now. So I'm very excited about that.
First class out will be the basics, one author's point of view of how to write a novel.
Awesome.
So
yeah, very excited about that.
There you go. So a little spoiler alert on spoiler alerts.
Very excited. All right. Well, what's your deal? You want me to bring you up full?
Sure.
Do you want me to keep this banner going?
You can drop the banner if you like.
I'm dropping the banner.
All right, so that's me right there with Studio Art, and these are all the links that you can catch me at right there on Facebook with the What Walter.
Could you add a few more links to that?
Oh no.
Yeah, he could.
I could, but I'm not gonna. Anyway, and here's a little sample of what you can see on all those things there. So. There's my Facebook page.
Gabrielle had a call for a second.
And you can see where I post some of my latest artwork and actually some other things from other people. Like for instance, me and Dirk's collaboration recently.
Right.
Yes.
And
saw that.
This is my DeviantArt page where you can see some of the professional work I've done over the year. Yes, I did. I used to do car wraps. So there's some actual car wraps. And that'll lead you to something else there as well. This is my blog page. I've recently put something on there that's pretty interesting. Just a little thought thoughts and the other things that I work on. And this is my Zazzle page, Zazzle store, where you can get my really cool Robo Girls t-shirt. Second one is soon to be out, hopefully within the next 2 weeks.
Cool.
Also, you'll see that you can catch me on Twitch and the PlayStation Network, where you can actually see me playing Gran Turismo, and usually playing Gran Turismo and making liveries for race cars, where you can see this sure am cool Task Force Geek race car.
Look at that Task Force Geek car, man. Look at those colors.
We've actually won a few races in that thing. So
sweet.
Actual competition, racing against other people.
That looks awesome, man.
Around the world. So be sure to catch me up there on the PS Network on OG Kryptonite King and twitch.tv/Gatchaman_1.
Yeah.
Also, if you actually friend me on the PlayStation Network, you have access to this logo.
Yeah.
You can make your own car liveries. If you're playing Gran Turismo, you get access to that. Only my friends get access to that. Otherwise, you don't get access to that. So, and that's it. That's it for me there.
All right. That's good stuff, man. I'm digging it. Right.
I'm working on getting my OBS set up so I could do the same thing as Walt one of these days.
Yeah, Walt has figured out how to do all that stuff. I haven't taken time to do it, and I still have to do the intros and the outros and all of the interstitials for the main show, and that's going to take some time. And this weekend I'm going to go see my mom. It's her birthday, and it's the 4th.
Happy birthday, Mom!
Yes, happy birthday, Mom!
Yeah, her birthday's the 3rd, and then on the 4th we're probably going to go see some fireworks. I'm going to hang out with her, so I'm going to take a few days off. So it's probably not going to be. I'm probably not going to do it over the the next few days either. There's all of my stuff right there. Oh, she says happy birthday to my mom. Aww. That's cool. My mom will be 84, I think.
84 years young, as they like to say.
Young.
Yep.
Lately, I've been working on. I got a job in another life. With a Japanese, let's say, toy company where I'm designing. How about that? And you see how I clean that up?
Mm-hmm.
I am doing illustrations for a couple of their packages. It's the first time I've gotten a corporate gig like this. It's wonderful. However, they have a lot of revisions that they need for these things. I'm sure that Walt will understand exactly what I'm going through with that, since he's been in graphic design for so doggone long. And it's, like it takes me, I've been keeping track of my time too, so that I can kind of accurately estimate my time in the future. And it's been pretty wild. It's taken probably double the amount of time that I would usually take on these sort of things. That's just the way of the world, but that's kind of what I'm dealing with. And I've got a little ad here that I'm going to play. Maybe. Here it goes. Hello, my name is Dirk Hooper. I'm a comic artist and illustrator looking for work right now. I've been doing art professionally for well over 2 decades, and my art has been in 3 comics, several art books, novels, and magazines. And I've had work in galleries in the Netherlands, England, Belgium, China, and all over the United States. I offer comic-style illustrations, sequential art, and digital paintings on a wide variety of genres, including sci-fi, fantasy, gritty, noir stuff, and bad girls. You can find more about me and my work at Ranking Studios. Contact me today to commission your custom artwork. Thank you. Hey, Sean has got a lot of stuff going on in Ranking Studios too. If you want to just go see and Scott and Robert. So if you just want to see some different art, or you want to see what we're doing, and all, check us out over at Ranking Studios. It's pretty cool. And hey, I'm living the dream.
And I forgot to mention that I'm doing pet portraits. That's my thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Pet portraits, and I'm also assisting Dirk here with some graphic design as well. So
also in another life.
In another life.
Let's say. Twitter links under this post. My Twitter, I've got mine set up because I had it at the beginning of the deal. It's actually on this thing right here, but I will post it up as an actual deal right here. There it is. Dirk Hooper Plus. But I think she wants to follow you too. So you want to say what your Twitter links are?
Let's see. I'm going to have to refresh my memory. I can never remember it exactly, but I do believe it's at what_studio, and it is what is all caps.
I think we got it on here.
Underscore capital S studio.
There's
coming.
somewhere.
Still coming.
I don't know if I don't think I have.
Stay on target. It's not there.
It's not there, but it was it was on my it is on my OBS thing. So
okay,
you might have to go back and catch that on the video.
Right.
Mine is real
what about
easy.
you, Beth?
Mine is real easy. At BA Freely, FREELY.
By the way, this is being shared on my Twitter account. If you're following Dirk Hooper Plus, then you will see these too, because they are very good about retweeting the stuff that I post, particularly the show, and we retweet each other and comment on each other's posts. So just look down wherever you're seeing on my deal. If you just look down a couple of posts, you're going to see these two on there, and Scott will participate as well. You know. Mm-hmm. Oh, Gabrielle says she's found him, so there we go. That's mission accomplished.
Woo!
And we want to hear from you on Twitter and stuff. We certainly appreciate that. All right, folks, that's going to be the show today. So thanks to Beth and to Walt for all the goodies. And thanks to, we had a lot of comments today. This was probably the most participation that we've had. We had Ken and Gary and Gabriella stuck with us through the whole show. We sure appreciate that. And
be sure to share us.
Maybe a few others.
Please.
Yeah, it's not too late to share this thing, because you can, it can be replayed time and time again. And we sure do appreciate people who watch and who participate. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I want to add something that I've probably been meaning to say this on on the Tuesday night shows, which we should be saying every Tuesday night. If you see something interesting out there, comic book related, or whatever, sci-fi, cartoons,
thank you, Gabrielle,
movies, be sure to hashtag it, Task Force Geek.
Oh, that's a really great idea.
Do that on, do it on Instagram, do it on
if you do that,
Twitter.
I tell you what, here's the deal I'll make with you on that. I will set that up so that if someone hashtags Task Force Geek, I'll set up an alert on Twitter, and we'll use that. That's a great idea, though.
I've made an alert on it for Instagram, so
that's good.
Just hashtag it. If you're out at a comic book,
I hadn't thought about
that,
but that's a great idea.
If you're out at a comic book convention somewhere, hashtag us. Hashtag Task Force Geek. If you know somebody who's a cosplayer and you take photos of them, hashtag us. Just make sure.
If you're playing D&D somewhere out in the store and something fun happens, hashtag us.
Hashtag us. Hashtag us with your favorite comic book store. Hashtag us with your favorite comic book artist. Mm-hmm. Especially an independent artist. We really want to get to know those that are in the independent field.
And independent writers and
authors, anybody who's in the industry, any of the industries, even if they're movie makers.
Yep.
Sure.
So get us in there. Let us know.
You can also check us out on our Facebook group. It's pretty active. People share a lot of stuff on there, and our topics, at least on the Tuesday night show, are I pull them right straight off of our weekly Facebook group posts.
So if you have any funny comic book memes, hashtag us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
video game hashtag. If you good video game memes, whatever, hashtag us.
Yep.
Hashtag Task Force Geek.
Yeah, keep in touch with us. We have a Discord deal, but I can't seem to get the address for it. If you're on Discord, then just look up Task Force Geek. We're on there, and I will figure out how to get a solid link hit on that at some point. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up. I can't wait till next week. Once again,
same here.
Holy cats! What are they going to do next? But whatever it is that they do, we'll be back next week on Thursday at about 3 p.m. Central. Please check us out then. And go ahead, Walt.
I was just going to say I'll have to recover my jaw from China. So
for real,
yeah,
I certainly did this
time.
Going
to happen to all of us. So.
Yeah.
Lady Civ was not the only person who was kicked in the jumblies on this episode.
No.
All right. Well, for Beth and for Walt, we thank you all for watching. And until next time, this is Dirk Hooper saying, dream hard.
Bye.